Well, he's a cutie pie. I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Richie Scott, and we are back with another video. Thank you so much for tuning in to the channel. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell button because you don't want to miss a single drop of the news that we're delivering. And today we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta news. We got some news on Nene, we got some news on Marlo, and we got some news on Yovanna. We're also going to be talking about Lisa Vanderpump. She's in some hot water from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And honestly, y'all, the thing that I'm really excited about is that we got some basketball wives news that is explosive. So y'all want to stick around till the end for that because I like to kind of bookend the videos with the biggest news pieces. And since it's Real Housewives of Atlanta, it's one of the biggest shows out on television, we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. So first things first, your girl Nene, apparently, well, this is alleged, that it's been alleged that she is booked for the Real Housewives of Atlanta for another 3 seasons. Now, listen, I can totally understand why this will be true, and she has stated that she is not leaving this show unless Bravo asked her to leave, so I can totally understand why this will be true. I can also understand her wanting to secure that bag for 3 years, and I can also see why she gets the salary that she gets because she brings so much to the show. Listen, y'all can talk all y'all want to about her, and we do a lot on this channel because she's so interesting. You know, love her or hate her, she's interesting, and she makes for a really, really good show. And I would argue that it's because of her it factor that makes the show so successful. It is what it is. So I can understand why that would be true. Also, in other news, she is putting her money where her mouth is. She has accepted Candy's challenge and bought out a movie theater to host and screen the movie Little with Issa Rae and Regina Hall. So shout out to her. She's partnered with the American Cancer Society to host that night. It's gonna be on Thursday, May 23rd. So if you're in Atlanta, you might wanna look out for that. But shout out to her for supporting a great cause. I wanna move on to Marlo because this also has to deal with cancer. Let's talk about her. So I want you guys to know just a follow-up from the story that we did from last week about Marlo Hampton being hospitalized. She was in fact hospitalized, but I want to let you guys know that she is cancer-free. Let me get into the story real quick and we'll get into those details. So Marlo explains to Hot Hollywood a couple of weeks back, I came home and it was crazy. Something was like, touch your breast. So I'm touching my breast, right? And I felt a huge lump. I mean, huge to the point where I'm like panicking. The TV personality continued. I call up my best friend. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Where did this just come from on my left breast? Just out of nowhere. So of course, I make an appointment to go to the doctor. Hampton, who clarified that her breasts were all natural, shared that the doctor told her that she had 5 large cysts and recommended a cyst aspiration or a procedure to have them drained. She said, just to be on the safe side, I will send the fluids out to make sure they're benign. The businesswoman later shared her fears about the procedure with fans on Instagram stories. I'm like, okay, you guys, I didn't tell you a couple of weeks ago I felt a lump on my breast, and today is the day I come and I'm having a cyst aspiration. I'm a little scared, she recalled. I said, hey, keep me in your prayers, make sure it's not cancerous, and then everyone turned that into I have cancer. As it turns out, drainage wasn't necessary. Hampton's cyst decreased in size to the point where her doctor advised keeping an eye on the lumps instead. The health scare was enough to shake the Bravo star to the core. However, it really was a wake-up call, she confessed. It scared the living oh my God out of me. Oh my God, it freaked me out. The entrepreneur explained that even though her castmate Greg Leakes' cancer battle was close to home, she didn't contemplate self-care until her brush with the disease. It's not until it happens to you, she told Us Weekly. All right, so I am excited about this news because honestly, you know, nobody wants to deal with cancer. And prayers up for Marlo, and I hope that she continues on this path of great health. This is good news all around for our Atlanta housewives. First, Greg Leakes is free and clear of cancer, and thank God that Marlo is as well. All right, so I want to move on to some more Housewives news. There's been speculation, and I told you guys this in a previous video, that Yovanna Love would be included much more in the season. Now there's speculation that she's also going to be bumped up to an actual friend of Rose. Media Takeout is reporting that while Shamari is fired, Yovanna is hired. Let's get into a little bit of the story, because as you guys will remember, we talked a lot on this channel about Shamari being, given the boot. And, we had even a little confirmation from Marlo, you know what I'm saying, when she jumped on her live and on her YouTube channel to kind of let people know exactly what was going on with Shamari.
Okay, wait, let me tell you this. First of all, Shamari, hey! Show the lean. Hey, what's Shamari in the bit? Show the lean. Shamari, come on now, you peachless. You really still up here tweeting tonight? Peachless Shamari still tweeting. But hey, girl, stay a fan. Just be a fan now, okay? Be sweet now, since you're peachless now. Ooh, they'll give you a peach and snatch it right back from you, won't they?
Now, here is what they are saying about Yovanna. It's saying that Yovanna had a very minor role in the last season of The Housewives, but this season she'll be featured a lot more prominently. Yovanna has signed on to be a friend of the show, but producers plan on including her a lot more in the upcoming season. So this would also explain why she was also at Nene Leakes' swag boutique opening in Maryland this past weekend, because if cameras were rolling, she needed to be there, and it makes total sense. Now, I did a little bit of digging because I wanted to know a little bit more about our little Miss Yovanna, and we already knew that she was also on Say Yes to the Dress and Bridezillas, but from what I gathered, she's been doing this whole drinking thing for quite some time. And what I mean by that is getting a little tipsy on camera. Now, so we know on Bridezilla, she was definitely a little bit roasted, but she also talked about, why she was so drunk on the Real Housewives of Atlanta when we first saw her. But before we even talk about that, I want to ask y'all a question. Who do you think is the better drunk? Do you think it's Shamari or do you think it's Yovanna? Because my answer is gonna be Yovanna. The reason why I say that is because drunk Shamari, although she is on the drunk side and throwing up, she's not really causing any major conflict with it. I feel like Yovanna is the cast member that you want drunk because she would be a little bit on the messy side. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So I did TLC Say Yes to the Dress when my wedding was when I was getting ready to get married, and then I also did Bridezillas. I did the 10th and final season of Bridezillas, and they gave me 2 episodes because it was so much content that I portrayed what everyone else, according to everyone else's opinion, yes, I was a hot mess as well. So I've been getting a lot of backlash for my behavior. So like I said, I'm glad that I have an opportunity to maybe possibly clear the air. I mean, it definitely wasn't the way I wanted my first impression to come off as with the group, but obviously I was drinking, so I always say when you drink, you tell the truth and you're just not afraid to. So it wasn't my intention to go in there and even talk about that. To be honest, when I spoke with Nene beforehand, she was like, look, this is going to be a nice meeting. We're going to sit down, get to know each other. It's going to be very organic. Don't pull any stunts. And I was like, all right, you ain't got no worries. But then once the wine and the shots started flowing, I was like, well, hell. And what's funny is that she had me sitting right next to Eva, so it was impossible for me to be sitting right next to her and not bring it up.
Can we talk about Lisa Vanderpump real quick? Okay, so she's in hot water for basically saying something kind of derogatory about Erika Jayne. Let's get into it, okay? Because this is regarding last night's episode. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but she was taking her lie detector test and she was asked about, whether or not she was telling the truth. And let's get into exactly what happened, who was involved, and what's next. All right, so it says, Lisa Vanderpump rubbed everyone the wrong way when she insinuated that Erika Jayne was trans and had biologically male parts on Tuesday night's episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. During the lie detector test scene, the star is seen talking to John Sessa before jumping into a confessional and dropping the very controversial remark. Just don't ask me if Erika's tucking or something like that. because there are some things I can't lie about, she says before doubling over in laughter. As soon as the shocking episode aired this Tuesday, Dirty Sexy Money star Candace Kane tweeted an angry response to Vanderpump's comment. "Oh, come on, Lisa Vanderpump. Joking about Erica Jane tucking ugly trans jokes marginalizing our community are not acceptable. Being an ally doesn't give you a free pass to make transphobic remarks. Do better," Kane 47 tweeted. Shortly thereafter, Erica Jane retweeted Kane's tweet. Then Lisa Rinna also butted in tweeting, "Who knew Lisa Vanderpump was transphobic? Well, we know now, #LGBTQ. All right, so let's talk about this for a second, because I really want to know y'all opinion. One, was this a transphobic comment? And did Lisa Rinna need to really chime in? I feel like she's just doing everything she can at this moment in time to basically make Lisa Vanderpump look bad, and I feel like it's getting to a point where it's kind of ridiculous. Now I understand that Lisa Rinna has some happy trigger fingers, and I actually like her on the show. I think that she brings a little brand of zaniness to the show that they actually need. However, her hatred of Lisa Vanderpump to me is a little bit more than transparent, and I'm a little over it at this point. Now, for somebody who has had very minimal interaction with her this season, she has the most to say in terms of her commentary about Lisa Vanderpump. Well, outside of Camille, whose loose lips are just sinking ships left and right, but I'm here for it because I love the drama that's involved with it all. But apparently Camille doesn't really take herself that seriously, which I love. Now, back to what I was saying. Let me know if y'all think that this is a transphobic comment or not, because at the end of the day, I feel like it's a poorly executed joke. There's always been reference to Erica Jane having a big she's actually said it on the show, you know what I'm saying? I think that when she's saying it, she means she's a tough girl. She's a tough chick, you know what I'm saying? I get the reference. Listen, I really do. And I think that LVP might have been making a riff on that reference, but it was in poor taste. And I know she's gonna chalk it up to British humor, but I think you can't say stuff like that and not expect a huge reaction from the community, and it's just something that you just don't say. And I feel like for her to be as old as she is, I feel like she should know better. And I'm actually kind of disappointed in her for actually making that joke. Now, I recognize it as a joke, but not all jokes are good jokes to tell, especially if you're not a comedian. All right, so I want to move on to Real Housewives of New York City real quick, and then we're going to touch on this whole basketball wives drama that I got to give to y'all real quick. All right, so the ladies of the Real Housewives of New York had their reunion this week, and we've got to look at the seating chart and at the looks and the gowns and all that good stuff that we all like to see online. And I can't quite understand what the theme of this reunion is, because I don't see a very distinct pattern or color. I see some color combinations, but it's not one that I understand. And honestly, I'm colorblind, so maybe it's just lost on me. I don't even know what color shirt this shirt that I have is. Comment below if you know what color my shirt is, because I don't know. Anyway, but I like it. But anyway, what I do have to say is I love Bethany's look. I love the color of Dorinda's dress. I'm here for Luann's black dress. A black dress is hard to make stand out sometimes amongst these reunion shows, but she hit the nail on the head with this look. Tinsley and Ramona's, their dresses look a little bit too similar for me, and they're actually seated right beside each other. But can we talk about why Ramona is actually seated on the end of the couch as the OG of this franchise and the character who has been on here the longest? I'm very shocked that she doesn't have any level of seniority to get a seat closer, and especially because she's sitting on the other side of Tinsley, who I feel like brings the least to this show. I like her, but I just feel like this is not the show for her. I would rather maybe see her on Summer House. Moving right along. Okay, so first things first, Basketball Wives Season 8 will be back in June. Why has VH1 not given us a trailer yet? I don't know, because if this was Bravo, we would have had a trailer by now, and I'm very disappointed because I know that VH1 tends to only do their trailers maybe about a week or a week and a half in advance of the show. We might get some type of visual teaser, but I need the full trailer, and I need it like now. I don't understand why we haven't gotten it. Y'all need to start promoting this show. Anyway, having said all that, let's get into the drama, because it's two major stories that have popped up, and I want to get into both of them. I'm going to get into the biggest one last, but I'm going to get into one that's popping off right now, that was popping off yesterday on social media, like crazy. Tami and Evelyn are back at it again, and they are going at it on social media because Tami commented on Evelyn's baby's daddy's Instagram post of Meg the Stallion. So apparently he went back and told Evelyn the whole situation. Let's get into all of the drama right now. All right, so it says Basketball Wives star Evelyn Lozada called out fellow cast member Tami Roman after Tami commented on her baby daddy's Instagram post. You avoided me all season because you didn't want me to expose your lies, but you have the nerve to be on my son's father's page. Family over everything. You tried it, chicken. Then, it didn't take long for her followers to make the connection to Tami. Tami commented 3 rock hand emojis below Evelyn's baby daddy, Carl Crawford's latest post promoting rising rap star Megan Thee Stallion's latest album, Fever. But Tami is not one to shy away from the smoke. At me next time, Evelyn. For clarity, I avoided you because you're toxic. Secondly, I liked something that came up on my Explore page of Meg the Stallion, who I support because she's from H-Town. Thirst is you lurking on your ex's page reading comments. He's definitely moved on. So should you. Bloop. Okay, so I don't understand why this man, to me, that was like a little bit of a messy action for him to take. I mean, but I guess if his loyalty is to his baby's mama, I guess I can see why he did it. I mean, I don't know that I would have done it, but maybe I would, I don't know. It depends on what kind of mood I was in that day. Was I feeling messy that day? Then I might do it, I don't know. But listen, I'm not saying anything negative about him, but I'm saying that the action was messy because of what it caused at the end of the day. So apparently, I don't even know that we'll actually get to see a Tami Evelyn resolution or conflict during this whole season, because it seems like Tami avoided Evelyn all season, and she's actually indicated this in interviews that she would not have to actually film around anybody that brought her any level of toxicity. Now, I'm not saying that Evelyn is toxic, but I'm just saying that maybe some people, in all situations in life, we will either be the hero or the villain for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a nasty breakup with your ex might consider you the villain. You know, does that make sense? But in your eyes, you might be the hero because that's your perspective. I'm assuming it's the same situation with this. So again, they're still at odds with each other. Personally, I like them better as friends when they're friendly. But, you know, I don't like it when a cast member does not film with the rest of the cast because I feel like we're not getting what we need from them. Now, I want to move on to Jackie because apparently old girl got into an altercation, got a beat down, and got a concussion. Let's get into it. So before we actually get into the details of the story, I want to take you guys backwards because Jackie posted on her social media, and the Shade Room caught it, that she was quitting Basketball Wives. And I don't know if you guys will remember this, but in case you don't, let me refresh your memory.
I got into it at the skating ring, and I hear the mission has begun, and a lot of people want me gone. Are you guys gonna continue to watch this show? I'm not here. If you do, have fun. I'll see you again.
Now, having said that, allegedly this was around the same time that happened, and nobody knew about it because nobody was talking about it, but they're talking about it now. So I'm gonna give you guys the detail. We're gonna run down the story and then we're gonna discuss it, okay, real quick. Let's go. All right, it says the upcoming season of VH1's Basketball Wives is currently being filmed, but production was placed on hold when cast member Jackie Christie was brutally beaten during taping. A top production associate told Media Takeout News that Jackie was assaulted by a woman during filming and that Jackie had to be taken to the hospital with a possible concussion. The drama popped off when Jackie made disparaging comments about co-star Malaysia Pargo during a skate party in front of Malaysia's family. The insider explained a lot of Malaysia's family was at the skate party, and the insider claims that Malaysia comes from a ghetto family. Malaysia grew up in Compton, California. And when one of Malaysia's female cousins heard Jackie chirping, she popped off on the Basketball Wife. Our snitch added, one of Malaysia's cousins heard Jackie talking and beat her up. It was bad. Jackie hit the back of her head on the ground. Initially, Jackie, who has been on the show since season 1, quit following the assault. All the time, Jackie claimed Basketball Wives security was neglecting their duties. You'll recall that Jackie took to social media a month ago, as we stated earlier, and told her followers that she was leaving the hit show. Luckily for Jackie, she was not seriously injured except for a couple of scratches and bruises. The production team has now beefed up security to protect each of the wives from being assaulted, and Jackie has rejoined the cast for the remainder of the season. As a precaution, Malaysia's family has been banned from all future tapings. Oh Lord, so Jackie done been beat up again. Listen, y'all remember a couple of seasons ago when she got into that altercation that they did not show on camera with Brooke, I forgot Brooke Bailey, I think that was it, who was actually defending Drea at the time. Y'all remember that? Well, allegedly this is happening all over again. Jackie just can't stay out of trouble. Y'all know Jackie get into it with somebody just about every season. Except for last season, she seemed to stay a lot out of the drama and chaos, but she had a pretty busy season the season before that. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but I'm hoping that we see a little bit of this altercation on this season of Basketball Wives, because honestly, I believe it happened. And what I want to know is, what are you guys excited about with Basketball Wives? With this whole Tami and Evelyn situation, do y'all think we're going to get any resolve from it? Whose side are you on in this situation with Tami and Evelyn? Like, are you on Tami's side or you on Evelyn's side? And why the hell is Jackie Christie popping off about Malaysia Pargo? Malaysia don't bother nobody. Malaysia's actually one of my favorite characters, low-key, because she's real G, but she's a don't start none, don't be none type of person, and she is very loyal to her people. So for me, she's always been one of my favorites on this cast. So I'm real excited to see what's going down this season on this show. Whose team are you on? Are you on Jackie's team or are you on Malaysia's cousin's team? Let me know down in the comments below. I know we have a lot of news today, guys, but I had to give it all to y'all. I had to give it all to y'all on one video. Subscribe to the channel, because listen, we talking Real Housewives, we talking Basketball Wives, we got all of the reality TV stuff popping off right now. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DJ Richie Scott, and guess what? I will see you guys in the next video.